As you know, many tech companies have made the case that there aren't enough H-1B visas. The United States needs more qualified engineers. What about the models, though? Do they have an unfair advantage here?
Thanks for having me on, Eric. Models don't have an unfair advantage, in large part because the nature of the business is less predictable. Tech companies know what their hiring needs are going to be years out. They can work within the H-1B system. They can file the application when they are first available on April 1. In the fashion industry, it's impossible to know who next year's hot model is going to be as of April 1. She may not be discovered yet. She may not be working as a model. And yet she'll have an important economic impact if and when she starts working.
But why not just lump the models into a separate category? Why should they have to compete with more skilled workers like engineers and computer programmers and anyone else who has the education?
Absolutely. It's a legislative artifact that they are lumped together. It has to do with the evolution of the H-1B system. And people have advocated moving them into categories with performers and athletes, which makes sense because the demand for models is individualized. When a designer is booking a model to walk on the runway, or a magazine is booking a model to appear on its pages in a magazine, they're looking at someone specific, much like they would an athlete or an actor. So they are very different from any tech worker who can come in and fill the
But the reality is that that legislative change hasn't been made, and so they are lumped into competing for the very same visas as potential tech workers. I guess what we have to sort out for themselves, and which may ultimately drive the legislative change, Kit, is whether the models in according to your research, contribute as much to the economy as the tech workers might.
Well, absolutely. Models contribute to the economy. As Bruce Morrison said, when you're talking about New York Fashion Week, it's not just the models who show up. You have hairdressers and makeup artists, photographers, dressers, janitors, coat checkers. You have hotel workers and restaurateurs. Everybody benefits from that program. Similarly, in photography, as Bruce said, you're talking about lighting technicians, makeup, hair. There's a lot of American jobs tied into the fashion industry.